Hello, Hope family members. I am here with Barb Bulthuis, Executive Director of Crossroads School, and the reason I wanted to take a moment to give a shout out for her and Crossroads is just a couple weeks ago, we had blankets made by the students given to our clients at the shelter, and it piqued my curiosity to learn more about Crossroads and the work that they're doing there. Well, in this half hour I've spent with Barb, I have learned so much about the Longmont community, not only her involvement and hope and all the ways that you out there in the Longmont community partner to better our community, but also of what is happening at Crossroads. So I wanted to give a shout out and a big thanks, thank you Barb, for for creating the kinds of programs that can support others who are vulnerable in our community. And now I'd like to hand the microphone over to her so she can share with you. If you're not familiar with Crossroads, you need to be. So here's Barb.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. It's wonderful to get to share the story a little bit with another audience. And I know some of the folks seeing this probably are familiar with Crossroads and others may not be. We're kind of a well-kept secret in Longmont. I like to say that we have a tiny footprint and a huge impact. So instead of impacting thousands of lives, we impact a few very, very deeply. And the way we do that is we take students who are not successful in traditional schools for a whole variety of reasons, whether that be an autism spectrum disorder that makes it almost impossible for them to function in a large school setting, whether that be a chaotic home life that has led to significant gaps in their early education but no disability that qualifies them for special ed services, or whether that be mental health issues that interfere with their ability to function in a traditional school, or there's a number of other reasons why students come to Crossroads. But whatever the reason, they come and they join our program of 8 to 10 students in a class, individualized education, mastery-based, highly relational, with the goal of helping kids figure out their own confidence level, their own skills, their future plan, and then earn a diploma and take the next steps toward that future. So turning around the lives of kids who have given up on themselves and who aren't fitting in traditional schools and who need another chance. So I love that we get to do that. Right now we have about 40 students in 6th through 12th grades. We just a couple of weeks ago graduated 2 of them. And our graduating classes are always small. 1 to 7 students have been our averages so far since when we graduated our first class. Crossroads has been around since 2010. We currently meet at the Faith Point Church building on 15th, just west of Main Street. So we are we're working on helping kids develop both their academic skills and their personality skills, mental health, all of that. And one piece of that this spring for our high schoolers was a project called the Big Idea Project. And that was a project that took small groups of high schoolers and gave them a business mentor and the challenge to decide on an issue in our community that mattered to them, to do research on that issue, find out more about it, figure out a way that they could have an impact as students to make a difference in our community, to write a proposal, to implement that proposal, and then to report back to the community. And one of our groups of students chose homelessness as the issue that they wanted to address. In fact, they called their project Houseless, Not Homeless, because they said everybody needs a home, whether or not they have a house. And so they had all kinds of ideas about how they were going to have an impact. And right after they made their project proposal, they got sent home with the quarantine. And they had to pivot, and they had to work online and figure out new ways to impact this problem without being able to get together as a group, without being able to go out into the community in the same ways. And that their solution was to figure out how to get fabric to each of their homes and make the blankets at home and then meet together at the Hope shelter and give those to the Hope staff to give to clients. So that's what they chose to do. It wasn't a teacher-driven thing. It wasn't a school-driven thing. It wasn't our idea. I loved that I got to help them connect with Hope, because that is a place that I have volunteered and that my church has been involved. I'm a member of the Journey Church here in Longmont, and we've been involved with homeless ministry for a long, long time, and so that's close to my heart as well. So it was neat to get to connect our students with that, but it wasn't my idea. It was theirs. So that's a wonderful thing to get to see happen, and to see the synergy of our community, and to have kids exposed to the work that's being done in other organizations as well. And my favorite part was that in the middle of this crisis, when everybody was afraid and worrying about so many things, these kids not only had to figure out their own lives, they also took an extra step to continue to think about others and to have an impact in their community, even in the midst of the quarantine. And I think that's a beautiful example that we can all learn from and celebrate.
Amen to that. Amen. Thank you so much, Barb. Thank you. Isn't that awesome? It just makes me want to give Barb a hug now. We've been sitting 6 feet apart from each other, and this is all sanitized, so no worries out there if you've been watching. But we need stories like that, right? Especially during COVID, where everyone may or may not be feeling more isolated and wondering about their futures and the uncertainty of the future of the community. This is just a first-hand example that even in the very moment of crisis, we have great resourcefulness and great wisdom coming out in the example of the children right in our midst. So thanks, Barb. And how can people get a hold of knowing how they can support Crossroads if they want to?
CrossroadsLongmont.org is our website, so you're welcome to look there. My name is Barb Bulthuis, and I'm the Executive Director, and all of the info at CrossroadsLongmont.org email comes directly to me, and I'd be happy to get together with you either in person or virtually to talk more.
Great, and stay tuned for more Great Hope Facebook Live videos and a music series coming up within the month. Take care. Bye-bye.